I had a friend last year, a friend and colleague who was in a job search and was railing in support of the previous administration and was railing on many different platforms in his Twitter feed, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. And for a time, it was mostly under his control. But then what started happening was people were picking up his feed and sharing it in other places. And all of a sudden, it was no longer in his control. It was just out there in the ether. And he just was not aware of it being shared so prolifically while he was looking for a job. And ultimately, what happened is that he found himself in a couple of interviews where those questions actually came up.
Oh, yeah.
And it was his political view and it was his own. And as long as he was sharing it kind of on his own little platform in his circle, he felt like he was under control. But when others started sharing his political views and linking it back to him, it totally went out of his control. Yeah. And he was just completely unaware of that.
Yeah. So I think you raise a really good example. I want to touch on a couple of things there briefly. One is that the internet is outside of our control.
Yes.
Just is. And as I said at the beginning of this section, we were really comfortable telling our children that.
Right.
But then we forget it for ourselves. So think back to that front page of the New York Times. If you wouldn't want it there, then why are you putting it on the internet? Also understand that absolutely you have freedom of speech, you have freedom of belief, you can do whatever the heck you want within very limited reason, and it will have impact. And if you are going to voice strong political views, you can be reasonably sure that half of the people will not agree with you, because it's pretty much a half and half situation that we're in right now. Mm-hmm. So you make a choice. It's no different in the job search than, I mean, we've had friends lost over these situations because they didn't like what you were putting out there. It's an issue on dating websites. It's an issue on every possible online forum where you're making a choice. Mm-hmm. You can make that choice. You just have to recognize that there's implications to your choice.
Yes.
And that, exactly as your friend learned, you do not necessarily maintain control.
Yes.
Even in the forums where you think you're maintaining control, someone can take a screenshot and spread it, and it's out there.